Hey there everyone. Alright, I am on a very limited memory card space, so hopefully I can get this video all done in one shot here. My item I wanted to talk about at the moment was working with angels. And this is not something that I do on a consistent basis. It's not something that I've really started doing yet, but it is something that has come up a couple of times for me. It came up about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and it just kind of went by the wayside, and then it's come up again a couple of times, and finally I said, you know what, I am going to start to look into this. I've never worked with angels. They are kind of something that's outside of my realm of current understanding. They are prevalent in my father's family religion, which is Catholicism. For me, it's the same thing like when I said I had a difficult time choosing a pantheon, because I don't really go for this idea of humanizing energy to make it more understandable. That to me is not really necessary. But I can see it in the same way, whereas we're giving human qualities to a type of energy in order to better understand it and in order to work with it better. So I said, okay, well, I've got nothing against that. And specifically, what has come up for me as far as angels go is Michael, Archangel Michael. He's come up a few times, and he is prevalent in my periphery right now for a few reasons. Now, those of you who work with angels, and many of you who don't, will know that Michael's probably the most popular rock star of the angel world. He is frequently depicted as the angel with the sword. He's the protector. He's the one that threw out the devil from heaven and all of that. So he's very prominent. The reason he's prominent for me is actually kind of twofold. For one thing, he is one of my teaching angels as far as my sun sign goes. My sun sign is Leo, and he kind of corresponds with Leo. And he also is the patron saint of the army, military members in the army. And of course I was in the army for 6 years. So, and I have a little Michael charm that I've had for a while. I had a little talisman that I carry. It was not for Michael specifically. It was a talisman of Mars that my mom got for me before I was deployed to Kuwait, that I kept in my pocket. And there are, I think, a lot of similarities and correspondences there between the two. And also, for any of you who saw my How Crystals Found Me video, the whole story about sugilite. And even though that is a more modern stone, it's relatively recent that it's been discovered, it has been attributed now to Michael because of its rich purple color. So these things, these little correspondences have been flying around me, and I've been doing a good job of ignoring them, but they've come up again. And I said, okay, I'm not going to put it on the back burner anymore. I'm going to find out what it is that Michael wants with me, and how it is that I should be interacting with this energy that's been floating around me. So I've been trying to research a little bit and getting massively confused between all of the different information out there, which brings up a good point. My preferred means of study. I love reading up on things, different versions of things, different thoughts, ideas, trains of thought, but it does get massively confusing, and at some point you just have to pick a tradition and roll with it. Or, as I'm beginning to lean more toward now, is you have to start just trusting what your own intuition says. And I think that's the way that I want to approach this. I still enjoy reading up on the different traditions related to the angels, but for my purposes right now, I just want to know intuitively what is it that I am supposed to be doing right now with the angels. So, this month after the equinox, we have Michaelmas, a holiday which is more prominent in Europe, especially in Great Britain, but it makes a good segue, I think, for me. It gives me a day to focus on that I can put together something that I can try to work with Michael a little bit. And that includes things like I want to bake a blackberry pie, just because I found out about the whole thing about blackberries, how we're not supposed to eat blackberries after the 29th, because that's, well, a whole separate story. But, so, bake a pie. And you know what? Invite Michael to sit and have coffee and pie with me and interview him a little bit. That is an idea that I got from Doreen Virtue, which reading some of her stuff was partly what confused me so much, because it's very different from the traditional angel study. So, but I do like that idea of inviting the energy in and interviewing that energy. And I think from there, I'll start with that, see what kind of information comes my way, and from there I will see how additionally I want to work with Michael and the other angels. I should have at least one more teaching angel for my moon sign. However, my moon sign is Pisces, and therefore there is some debate on who that angel is. So that's another thing that I'm going to be working on. But I just wanted to let you all know this is a new thing that I'm becoming interested in and starting to study. So if any of you work with angels, any of you have any tips, tidbits, etc. of how you view the angels and working with them, please do leave a comment. I would love to know. I think anything and everything would be helpful at this point for me. So thanks for stopping in, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.